Welcome to the channel, and today we take an epic, in-depth journey into the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871, a short conflict whose consequences reshaped Europe for generations, ignited German unification, shattered French imperial power, and laid critical foundations for the catastrophe of World War I. Because by the mid-19th century Europe stood at a crossroads between old empires and new nation-states, and nowhere was this tension clearer than between France, proud, established, and confident under Emperor Napoleon III, and Prussia, disciplined, industrializing, and strategically guided by the master politician Otto von Bismarck, who believed that German unity could only be achieved through blood and iron. And while France saw itself as the natural guardian of continental balance, Prussia had already defeated Denmark and Austria, consolidating control over northern Germany, and leaving France increasingly isolated and anxious about a powerful German state on its eastern border, an anxiety Bismarck carefully exploited through diplomacy, manipulation, and timing, until the opportunity arrived with the Spanish succession crisis, when a Prussian prince was offered the Spanish throne, alarming France, which demanded permanent guarantees that such a candidacy would never occur, and although King Wilhelm I responded politely, Bismarck deliberately edited the king's telegram into the infamous EMS dispatch, stripping it of courtesy and presenting it as an insult, igniting nationalist outrage in Paris, where public pressure pushed Napoleon III into declaring war in July 1870, a decision that would prove disastrous, because France was unprepared for the modern, industrialized war that Prussia had engineered, as German forces mobilized rapidly using railways, coordinated under General Helmuth von Moltke's efficient command structure, while French armies suffered from poor leadership, outdated tactics, and divided command, leading to a series of rapid defeats along the frontier, as Prussian artillery and organization overwhelmed French forces battle after battle, culminating in the catastrophic Battle of Sedan in September 1870, where the French army was encircled and crushed, and Napoleon III himself was captured, an unimaginable humiliation that instantly collapsed the Second French Empire, forcing the proclamation of a republic in Paris even as the war continued, because Prussian forces now marched deeper into France, encircling Paris in a brutal siege that would last months, reducing the city to starvation, desperation, and psychological torment, with citizens eating animals from zoos, relying on balloon messages to communicate with the outside world, and enduring relentless bombardment as hopes of relief faded, while outside Paris German unity was sealed not only by military success but by political symbolism, as in January 1871. Inside the Palace of Versailles, the heart of French royal prestige, King Wilhelm I was proclaimed German emperor, deliberately humiliating France while announcing the birth of the German Empire, and when Paris finally surrendered, the terms were devastating, forcing France to cede Alsace and Lorraine, pay a massive indemnity, and endure German occupation until payment was complete, embedding a deep national trauma that would dominate French politics and identity for decades, fueling revanchism and hatred toward Germany, while internally France was rocked by further violence through the Paris Commune, as revolutionaries rejected the surrender and briefly seized control of the capital before being brutally crushed, showing that the war's damage extended far beyond the battlefield, and internationally the consequences were immense, because Germany emerged as Europe's strongest land power, unified, confident, and industrially dominant, while the old balance of power collapsed, encouraging new alliances, arms races, and nationalist rivalries, and militarily the war marked a turning point in modern warfare, proving the decisive value of railroads, mass mobilization, centralized command, modern artillery, and total war economies, lessons eagerly studied by every major power, even as they misunderstood the human cost those lessons would soon impose, and in this sense the Franco-Prussian War was not merely a conflict between two nations but a bridge between eras, ending the age of limited dynastic wars and ushering in the age of industrialized, nationalist warfare, where entire societies became instruments of conflict, and although the fighting lasted barely 6 months, its shadow stretched across half a century, shaping diplomacy, military planning, and national identities until Europe finally exploded in 1914, making the Franco-Prussian War one of history's most consequential short wars, a reminder that a single diplomatic provocation, carefully engineered and recklessly answered, can transform continents, destroy empires, and alter the fate of millions. And as we look back at this conflict, we see not only battles and treaties but the warning signs of modern war itself, where pride, nationalism, and strategic ambition collide with devastating results. And if you found this deep historical journey valuable, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts below, because many more powerful stories from history are still waiting to be told.